And we're back. Get that timer rolling. Do a little fixing, a little bit of here, a little bit of there. And we're in. Again, just going to make my previous stream public. Such is the life of the Lim Lam. The Lim Lam must do this every stream. It's the way of the lamb. It is the way of the limb. We'll go for an hour and 10 more minutes, I suppose. Why not? All right. So, clip farming plan. What can I do? Please suggest. In summary, so far we've got reviewing chat songs on stream, live feedback. They put something in the chat and they're like, hey, tell me what you think about this song. And I'm like, all right, done. I do that. Number 2, eat a turd. Dog turd, human turd, lots of different turds, right? Number 3, making synths together with chat, right? I love making synths. It's a win-win, right? I love the creativity that can come from doing this with the chat, right? With other people's inputs. Awesome, awesome. Number 4, DJing, but every time someone somethings, I something. Examples include 4A, DJing, but every time someone types turd, I change the song. Or 4B, DJing, but every time the chat counts to 10 in separate messages, I do 10 push-ups / squats / star jumps / take a swig of vodka. That works. Number 5, DJing, but I'm blindfolded. That's just a cool piece of content, in my opinion. Number 6, playing guitar, but I'm blindfolded. Now, you don't need eyes to play guitar. You just need soul, man. So I feel like that last one's not exactly very, you know, creative or important or anything. Fuck me, I think this is out of tune. You don't need eyes to see that. So if I were to close my eyes and try to play, you can see and hear that it's not a difficult thing. Bar chords would be a little more difficult to do because I don't know where I'm going. A lot of fun though, but yeah, do not need eyes to play guitar. Like I say though, bar chords definitely a little more difficult to do without seeing, because you need to know where on the fretboard you want to be playing. But otherwise, honestly, not an issue, completely fine, not an issue in the slightest. Let's keep it moving forward. So, yeah, playing guitar but I'm blindfolded, I think I'm going to remove that because I think that's a pretty trash one. To be honest, I think it's dumb. I think it's not, you know, that's not going to be enjoyable to watch. It's not going to be enjoyable to be a part of in any way, right? Maybe what if every time people say something in the chat, I change instrument, right? So I'm playing this. Let's get that volume up so you can fucking hear it. Exhibit A. Yeah. And then someone says something in the chat, and then I have to change instrument really quick. And then I just change it onto this. And then someone says something in the chat again, and then I have to change it to beatboxing. And then someone says something in the chat again, and then I have to change it to DJing. I don't know. Or acoustic guitar, or electric guitar. There is potentials here. I don't have a keyboard, so that is not a potential. But otherwise, there's potential. Yeah, and I think we could definitely fuck with something like that for sure, for shizzle, bro. Yeah, but no, let's keep it moving. Yeah, I mean, look, that's a potential idea. I just feel like I would need to think of something that people are saying in the chat for it to be a thing, right? Because if I'm doing that, I change instrument every time something. What happens? I change instrument every time someone new says something in the chat. Then I'd need to remember everybody who's speaking, but that's just a bit difficult. We could do change instrument every time someone says something in the chat, but then people could just spam the chat, which would make it, again, not feasible. We could do, I do something every time someone types a specific thing in the chat, but then again, they can spam that. It's got to be something that isn't spammable. It could be the counting to 10 thing again, because I genuinely think that's quite a cool concept. Changing instruments every time chat counts to 10. I'm okay with that. I think that's a doable thing. I'm sticking with that one. All right, let's move forward. Number 7. 10-hour stream we could do, or this stream ends when I drop whatever it is. Yeah, I like that one. This stream ends when I drop my DJ deck. And I just pick up this DJ deck and I balance it on my hand for as long as I can. It is heavy though. It is actually really quite heavy. So that's going to leave an indent on my hand. Even doing it that short amount of time, I've got an indent on my hand. Can't really see it. It's like there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's an indent, right? And that was a very short amount of time. So I think given more and more time, we're going to get bigger and bigger indents, bigger and bigger pain. It's got potential there. It's got potential. I quite like that. I actually quite like that one, to be honest. Quite like that idea. All right. Well, I've got a lot of headphones. There's something I could do with that. I don't know. DJ headphones. I've got so many headphones. We could something to do with headphones, maybe. It could be, I could just break headphones just because I've got too many headphones that I don't need. I think number 4 is a decent one. We've got a lot of potential with that. You could get a series going with that, and I think that's quite cool. Also, number 1, you could get a series going with that. Number 3, again, that's a series right there. Number 8, it could be making a song with chat. But the problem is that I take so long with the creation of the synths that anything else doesn't really matter too much, because everything else just is so much not quicker, but simpler. The synth is the most creative part of my process. When I'm making a synth, it goes on and on and on and on. So that's something that's worth thinking about, right? So maybe not making a synth, maybe not making a whole song, because we could make a song together, but the problem is that I'll be like, you know, what key should we do? Choose. You got to choose a key from, you know, A to G. Choose. You got 10 seconds, 10, 9, 8, and 7, whatever, and then we choose a key back. Right? Great. Then what else? And then, but the problem is that, okay, maybe I can choose a few different kicks, but to me, there's going to be a certain kick that's just going to be so much better than the rest. There's going to be a lot of little gaps there, that's all. But we could absolutely turn that into a video. It would just be like a fucking 2 hour, at minimum, 2 hour long video that I'd need to condense down into like 30-second reel. And that I think is problematic just because of the amount of space required to do that. But it's possible. It's possible, because look, what I'm looking for here is content that I can take and turn it into like a fucking long, a whole stream that I can turn into content. Now, if I'm reviewing chat songs, I can just, that for me is a little easier. I can just do 3 songs in each section, right? Otherwise, what else? Yeah, come on, let's keep it rolling. Stream ends when I drop my DJ deck is a classic. That one's a classic. I think we could definitely work with that. Come on. Okay, the stream ends when I drop my DJ deck. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people that think internally, not externally. By me talking, I cannot think. I cannot create new ideas whilst I'm talking out loud. It's such a shame. And that just makes the stream not enjoyable if I'm not talking. It's perfect for ADHD people and yellow and people that think out loud, but I'm just not one of them. Let me think. This shit looks like Star Wars, doesn't it? It's got the colouring of Star Wars and whatnot. It's very interesting. It's not very interesting, it's just interesting. Food for thought. It's worth thinking about. It's not really, to be honest. Okay, clip farming, farming clips. I'm gonna farm all your clips. You better hide your clips away from me, buddy, because I'm gonna farm them. Consider your clips farmed, son. Okay, look, it's been 13 minutes. To be fair, I've thought of 2 in 13 minutes. We're at a rate of about 1 every 6.5 minutes. Not bad. Not bad. We're getting there, to be fair. Fuck it. You know what? I was hating on me, but we're fine. I'm going to be streaming for another hour, I'd say. And then I'm going to call it. I'm going to do perhaps some more time. Yeah. And watch a film with my tamalam. With my tamalama. Okay. Number 7. Number 8. We're on 8. We could do an eating challenge. I do love eating. We could do a drinking challenge. I do not enjoy drinking. We could do a chili challenge. I don't enjoy chilies. We could do many different challenges, to be honest. There's many different options here. Have a look around. Have a look around. We've got green screen phone. There's potential with that. Just an old phone that I put a green cut up piece of card on. I've got a mini camera, little mini camera that could do something. Not streaming, but video probably. Little 32 gig. 32 gigs not bad. Media card. Cool. Again, not specifically helpful. I've got a bunch of papers. Got a mouse. I don't know why I've got this mouse. I don't use it. Yeah, I've got a mouse, but I use this mouse. I don't know why this one's wired. I don't even My laptop doesn't even have USB. I just have to use a bunch of adapters. It's really quite inconvenient, to be honest with you. Okay, let's keep thinking. Let's keep thinking. We can think of something here. What would be entertaining to watch? You know? I mean, thinking about clip farming ideas, that's entertainment. It's not. I was joking. Alright. I feel like it's more entertaining if I have my hands on the camera. For me, it's more engaging. I talk with my hands. Let me try doing that. This is a bit messy, but I suppose it is what it is. I used to have a green screen that goes up behind me, but it's a bit difficult to do that. We could do it though. But otherwise the room's quite nice. It's just these wires. And this is a microphone wire. It kind of needs to stay there because the microphone is right there. Headphone wire, that's connected to the DJ deck. Microphone wire. This is a different mic. There's two microphones. This is for recording audio. This is for DJing. So there's different purposes, different functions, and all that sort of fun stuff. And then we've got other wires. These are DJ deck wires for power, for speakers, and to connect to the laptop. So that's 3 wires at the back there. There's actually 4 wires at the back there. So I'm not sure and then one of them is to connect to the microphone, the one that I use for DJ. Causes the whole thing to stop. Let me test it again. Audio cuts out. Even audio cuts out is what I said, but you wouldn't know because you couldn't hear me or see me. But let's keep it moving. I won't touch the desk, I guess. Okay. Number 8. We could take our time as well, because like I say, I'm trying to get 500 hours. We're not even 20% of the way there, and we are more than 50% of the way through the year. In fact, I am wrong about the 20% because that would be 100 hours. We are over 20% of the way there. We're over 25% of the way there. But we are not at 50% of the way there. I don't know what statistic 163 out of 500 is. %. That was significantly easier than I expected. All I had to do was times 163 by 2, or 1.6 times 2. Yeah, fuck, that was easier. That was really, really easy. 16.3 times 2 is 32. 32.6, right? But 32, essentially. So yeah, 32% of the way there. But we are over 50% of the way through the year, so I am slacking. I need to day job this shit. I need to do 8-hour fucking streams. But that's what this can help us with, right? I do a bunch of production, sit and talk. I'm not much of a talker. I don't know why I decided to be a streamer, but here we are. Here we fucking well are, right? 164 now, damn. So yeah, now I'm 16. Ooh, 33% of the way through then, right? Because that's 32.8. Buddy, that's pretty much 33%. We're a third of our way through. Let's go. Let's get almost, because then it would have to be 33.3 reoccurring. But I'm happy to call that as a third. If you are, no one's here to stop me. I'm gonna call it a third. Apologies. Okay, number 8. We could do beatboxing. I can beatbox for fucking ever. I could also do freestyle rapping, but it would have to be very slow. And I'm not very good at it. But I think with enough practice, you get better at it, especially if you do like a whole stream of it. You're just going to be better by the end. But I feel like I'd repeat a lot of words, a lot of phrases, a lot of things. For example, if I were to start, I'd go like, right now I'm trying to do a clip farming plan. Who am I? Well, I am Lim Lam. Right now I'm on number 8. I'm gonna keep going and I'm eat my cake. See, it doesn't even make sense when I do it. Every time I do it, I just think it is shit. Shit. I was trying to do like it with shit, but it's actually do it. If I did do it, then I could then say it shit. Because it became a 2-syllable rhyme scheme because I stuck those 2 words together. Do it. Instead of do it. Do it. You know? Anyway, a little bit of analysis, a little bit of fun. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Number 8. I'm not going to do that. It is fun though. It is fun though. We could do a jam session. Literally just a pure jam session. We have some music playing and I'm just jamming to it. Jam session. But that's not a clip farming, that's just a jam session. Jamming with guitar every time someone follows, I change song. I like it. Yeah, because that's a little slower. Every time someone follows, I change song, or someone subscribes. But the problem with subscribing is that I cannot see it on YouTube. It doesn't show it up on my screen here. Whereas follows, it shows up on my screen. Yeah, it shows up on the stream like, hey, you know, but not that. Number 9. We could jam on the keyboards, to be honest, with synths. But, I don't know. I feel like it's better to jam with a guitar with an instrument on stream. I think that's a little more, yeah, a little more going, a little more interactive, maybe a little more, you know. Imagine you're seeing this, and there's in the background there's, and whilst that is playing, I'm on the guitar going down, 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 do 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 do, do 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 down, 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 do do do, and so on. It's a lot more exciting, right? Whereas if I'm doing it with a synth, this is what you're seeing. You're seeing me just in the corner, you know, fucking touching my keyboards, and you'll see the synth on the screen here. I think it's you know, I think it's better this way. Clip farming content. I think showing the mixdown process is not bad, to be honest, because that is decent content. How I mix down songs, but then again, to condense that down, I don't know if that's really an interesting thing to watch. And same thing, jamming with guitar. You know, that's not an interesting thing to watch. A stream ends when I drop my DJ deck. We can show a timer and show how, in real time, how slow and long that actually is. Yeah, a little bit of yeah, a little bit of Muay Thai. Number 9. Yeah, that's the problem with number 8. I think that's a decent stream idea, but it's not a decent clip farm idea. It's not a good idea for me to be able to condense that down into content for Instagram or TikTok or whatever, because that's just unenjoyable to watch. And it's not going to be like, it's too long. You know, you're going to watch him jam and then what? Fucking 5 minutes later when someone actually fucking follows. Come on now. Couldn't do it. Shouldn't do it. Won't do it. It's not going to happen. Number 9. We could, yeah, because we could have it playing out loud. Yeah, no, that works. But yeah, it's not going to be. It's not enjoyable as a content, as a little piece of content. So that's something we need to keep in mind. You see, I keep my stream at 30 frames per second, but maybe I should do it at 24 frames per second, you know? Have it cinematic. or 23.996 or whatever the fuck is the, like, whatever. All right, yeah, don't worry. Okay, number 9. Counting to 10 in English, but every time I get to 10, I restart. Yeah. Ooh. Or, I mean, it's not enjoyable content for a reel, but I could be like counting up, but every time someone speaks in the chat, I restart my timer. I restart my counting. I mean, it's not enjoyable until there's multiple people, and then multiple people can talk to each other. The stream ends when I reach 1,000, but every time someone talks in the chat, I restart my counter. But even I think 100 is unlikely to get there, right? No, I think 1,000 is unlikely, because the thing is that with streams, like, for example, this is a 26-minute stream, and right now I don't think I've got any viewers, right? And so if I were to say, you know, count to 100, then it's like that first 100, it's very likely that I'm going to be able to count all the way to 100 because nobody's going to be coming in. Whereas if I have it count to 1,000, it's less likely. But the problem is that once people are in, it's never going to end. It's not going to end. I'm just going to be constantly 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, you know? Because all I've got to do is just spam, and then I'm never going to be able to leave ever again. I like it, actually. Fuck it, let's do it. Let's go with counting to 1,000, because that makes it a little more difficult. It's not going to be something that I can condense down into a video, but maybe I could, but with time, I don't know. This stream ends when I count to 1,000. There's a lot of fun to be had with that one. I think that one's quite a cool concept. It's not related to what content I normally do though, which is music production and DJing and maybe a little bit of video editing where I create the reels that I create. But it is what it is. Yeah, whatever. Maybe it could be like suggest an animal sound and I will try to make it in stream. Or it could be, you know, let's listen to a song and I try to recreate that song. You know? Trying to recreate popular drops. Let's just do the drops because everything else is fucking boring, but yeah, try to recreate popular drops. I think that's a cool concept. And let's do one more because I actually want to do 10 and I'm not going to actually be eating a turd or a dog turd or a human turd. That is not actually something that I'm going to be planning on doing at any point in time. Let's make this a little more standout-ish. There we go. Now when people come, they see that and they're like, hang on, what the fuck is happening here? Good question. Trying to recreate popular drops on Ableton. Okay, yeah, cool concept. Let's keep it moving. I'm making more progress than I thought in a relatively short amount of time. I kind of want this to take a whole hour, but I don't think it's going to. Yeah, I don't think it's going to. I've got like 40 more minutes until I can call it. I can call it now, to be honest. No one's stopping me. I need to buy some tin foil, aluminium foil. Put it on my windows, stop this heat from coming in. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculously hot. I think it's going to be ridiculously cold if I do that, though. We'll see. We'll see. 11. Trying to recreate popular drops on Ableton. I actually really quite like that idea. DJing, but every time someone comments, I can change the song. So I can be like, you know, if nobody comments, then I have to keep DJing the same 2 songs just over and over again. I have to stay on that one song. I don't get a choice of changing it. I have to wait until somebody comments, and as soon as somebody comments, then I can change the song. Let's write that one down because that's a good one as well. 4C, DJing, but I can only change the song when someone comments. Okay, yeah, look, we're cooking. We're cooking now. Number 11. I really like the idea of reviewing chat songs on streams. Is there anything else I can do like that? I could do like doing people's mix downs for free on stream. You know? That's not a bad idea. You know, because then, you know, normally I get paid for doing mix downs and mastering, but I could do it for free if I do it on stream. But then again, I could still do it on stream, and then that's going to be marketing for them. So I should still get paid for that. But then again, it's not exactly massive marketing, is it? Considering I have not a big following or a medium following. My following is so small; it's not even a small following. Arguably, not even a following. Number 11. Clip farming. Because I could pretend to struggle to drink a water bottle, just spill water everywhere. It's not. These are such dumb pieces of clip farming, but shit just fucking works. I don't want to. I want to do things that I enjoy for clip farming, such as counting to 1,000. I love that. That's what I do for fun. You know, it's my go-to thing of enjoyment. Look how skinny my legs are. My legs are fucking tiny. My God, this is actually my leg. It looks like a fake fucking thing, doesn't it? It looks like an arm. That's how small it is. And this is closer to the camera, which means it's actually bigger than it is. It's smaller in person. Isn't that crazy? This is what my arm looks like in comparison. It's almost the same fucking width. Look how fucking tiny this shit is. Minuscule. Look at that shit. If I can squeeze it and it becomes that small. Come on now. Anyway. Hey, welcome to the stream. Thanks for the follow. I'm thinking that follower is a bot. Let's see. Let's see what they say in the chat. Are their headphones not working? Can you please type something in the chat to let me know? Because my headphones aren't working. I can't quite hear you. Add me on Discord so we can talk a little more. I actually can't see anything in the chat. Oh, well, actually, I know for a fact there's nothing in the chat because there's nothing on my stream. So, because the chat shows up there when people talk. But maybe they're actually a real person and not a bot, and they just wanted to follow my stream, which is pretty cool. Let me put the nip clip back on. Now that's clip farming. No, it's just clip nipping. Nipping the clip, clipping the nip. All right, let's keep it moving forward. Okay, what is number 11? We're so close. We're so close. We're actually almost covering the whole screen with this. Number 11. Come on, come on, come on. So yeah, I mean, we drink a water bottle and fucking drop it on the floor. Oh no, what happened? Oh. Dumb, not enjoyable for me. I want it to be valuable to the consumer as well. Such as counting to 1,000 is just fun for everybody involved, you know? Could be an eating challenge. This something where I've got a reaction, I suppose, is a very human thing that would be enjoyable to watch, perhaps, you know? But it can't even be something that I watch because it's copyright content and YouTube will murder me, you know? They'll slit my throat. I'm worried that even saying that, That's okay, actually, because I'm not monetized. I can't get demonetized if I'm already demonetized, if I'm not even monetized to be demonetized. And if you think about it, demonetized is like demonetized. So what does that tell you? Nothing. It doesn't really tell you anything. All right, let's keep it moving. Come on. So we've got reviewing chat songs on stream, live feedback. I think that's an awesome concept. Genuinely, that's content that I can turn into reels. That's content that helps the person whose song I gave in, because they get feedback. That helps them as well because it's on my stream, so everybody watching the stream can see their song, and that's free promo. And then I turn it into content as well, so everybody that follows me on social media can see that content as well and see their song. It's helpful for me as well because I get content out of it, and it's helpful for the chat as well because they get to learn from it as well. So it's really, really a win-win-win in that scenario, and I fucking love that. Number 2, eat a turd, dog turd, human turd, any sort of turd. Done. That's fine. Everybody wants to see that. I'm excited to do that. I'm still undecided if I want to do dog turd or human turd. Can always do both. Can always do both. I can mix it up if I want to. Making synths together with chat. I love that concept. I open up Synthesizer, I open up Serum 2, and I say, you know, what wavetable am I starting with? Okay, great. Okay, do you want me to do phaser, flanger, or distortion next? You know, really let the chat decide, and we just create something fucking unique together, and I love that. We can do that over and over again as content as well. DJing, but every time something happens, something happens, right? That's a classic tried and tested thing, but I've not seen DJs do that yet. Some examples that we have already thought of is DJing, but every time someone types turd, I change song. That one is stupid and I don't want to do it. The next one is DJing, but every time the chat counts to 10 in separate messages, I do 10 push-ups or 10 squats or 10 star jumps or take a swig of vodka, something like that, right? So for example, I'm DJing and then someone writes in the chat 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 5 and then 6 and then 7 and then 8 and then 9 and then someone else, all of them same person, then says 10. Buddy, that's a swig of vodka. Next up, we've got DJing, but I can only change the song when someone comments. DJing, but I can only change the song when someone comments. So I'm playing the same song over and over and over again until somebody comments. I can absolutely do that. That would be quite enjoyable for me. It's a little bit of a challenge as well because sometimes people might comment, and then I've just got to spam changes, and that is hectic. DJing, but I'm blindfolded. That is absolutely something that I can do, and that is something that I would enjoy to do as well. We could also do DJing, but my hands are tied behind my back. That is possible. That is possible. Because one hand behind the back, that's crazy, but it's doable and I've seen it. DJing, but your hands are, both hands are tied behind my back. That's awesome. I can use my nose. I think that's the only thing I can use. Check out the schnozzle. That's a DJing nose. This fucker can do everything. And I don't need to beat match because I've got the sync button, right? I can make it more difficult. And only DJs would get angry at that because who gives a shit, right? And if you're a DJ getting angry at that, grow up. Bro, I'm DJing without hands. Relax. So, yeah, DJing, but my hands are tied behind my back. Because, I mean, I'm sure there are DJs out there without hands or with one hand and stuff like that. And so, you know, it's a cool concept. It's a cool concept. It's a bit of a challenge. Quite a challenge. Definitely a fucking massive challenge. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to change song. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to do anything, really. There is buttons where I can change songs. Because I know there's dials where I can change songs. But there is buttons where I can change songs. So I can do that, have my headphones on, and have a listen, and then if I don't like it, I can press the button and go back. And yeah, I mean, I can absolutely do that. DJing, but my hands are tied behind my back. That's awesome. That's awesome. I think, to be honest with you, I think we're done here. I think we're done here. I can go to my back garden and practice some Muay Thai. All right. Or go to my gym or do something. I can go do some Muay Thai. Let's keep reading up, make sure everything sounds good and is something that I don't want to change, right? So DJing, but I'm blindfolded. Absolutely perfect, absolutely possible. definitely difficult, but I cannot interact with the chat if that is the case. That is something that is problematic, though. Number 6, changing instruments for every time. Oh, changing instruments every time chat counts to 10. So I'm just playing the guitar, and then someone in the chat counts to 10, and then bam, I change instrument. 8, jamming with guitar every time someone follows. Every time someone follows, I change song. It doesn't have to be follow. It can be comments. It can be count to 10. This stream ends when I count to 1,000. That's a classic. Trying to recreate popular drops on Ableton. Absolutely awesome. And that's a good content idea as well for Instagram and TikTok. And DJing, but my hands are tied behind my back again. TikTok content right then and there. All right, look. I think we're done here. I wanted this stream to be longer, but tell you what, we did it. And by we, I mean me, because not a single fucking person commented here. But they did in my previous stream. Pre-pee. Pre-poop. Yeah. I had to stop this halfway to poop. It's such as life, you know? That's what happens when you eat a turd. Dog turd, human turd. Let me save this shit and gonna stop the timer right now. And then I'm gonna go, yeah? All right, look, it's been real. Thanks for coming down if you did come down. And if you didn't come down, that's okay too. Thank you for existing.